buddy. Say hi. How's it going?
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hola.
Wait. Oh, ¿cómo estás?
Come over to the music down. Get out of here, music.
Way to use the one sentence in Spanish you know, sorry.
Thanks.
Where'd we leave off?
We were doing a survival check to follow the two sets of prints outside of the jimmied window. And I was totally gonna rock the roll.
Mm-hmm.
We did. Somebody did roll well on the survival check, but there was the cliffhangery comment of "We'll see where they lead next time."
And then cut.
Yeah.
And
Well, Delphi went on her own excursion.
yeah. So
Yes.
the question is, do we stay with the people who are following the tracks, or does this framework story now jump to Delphi from when she began her
Stakeout.
her reconnaissance?
We all know the answer to this. We're jumping to Delphi.
Oh, hi.
So the last time we had a session start with the focus being on Delphi, it was one of my favorite sessions ever. So I feel good about tonight.
Good.
Ooh. Spicy.
A little loud for me. Sit down.
That was also the session you got your bag of holding. And maybe you'll get it back again this time. And the poetry will be complete.
Actually, the last time we started out a session with Delphi... No, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember
butt.
who exactly we started out with last time. Because I think we might have started with Delphi last time.
Mm,
No, I
No,
mean when she was separate and the focus
Oh, yeah.
was just on her.
I
That's
thought-
fair.
We started with Adri last time.
I don't remember.
That was 2
Been a
weeks
while.
ago.
Anyways, so Delphi,
Yes.
you are sitting here waiting outside the Broken Tusk Inn Tavern.
Yep.
Something like
Staring. Keeping an eye out for my bag of holding, which I will get back.
that. Because last time, Irvin broke into your room and stole it, and you followed him here.
Extremely rude of him.
What
He didn't even ask.
a dream unfriendly word that guy is.
He is
No, that's Gail.
I
a
don't know what you have
misunderstood
against
and
Gil.
confused individual.
Peace. Anyway,
Anyway, so Delphi, you've been waiting outside,
Yes.
and it's getting to the point where the tavern is actually opening up for the public.
Cool. Can I go in and then look to see if I see them?
You go inside. You don't see anybody from that party yet.
Well, Maggie would be hard to miss.
Yeah, Maggie would be really hard to miss.
Is this how you cement an eternal friendship with Maggie?
we have to wait and find out.
I'll sit at a table in a corner and try to be stealthy Delphi and
Okay.
wait till they come down.
Roll a stealth check then.
That's a great thing. This is really low. 11.
11. Okay.
Yeah.
So you sit in the corner booth for a little while.
Mhm.
Why is this music super loud for me?
Do, 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 do.
And
Is it sneaky time?
I guess. Can't hear myself talk though. Anyways, so Delphi, you sit there for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually you hear some noise upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
As you hear the voice of Maggie. And it
Okay.
kind of sounds like she's raising her voice. You don't quite understand what's being said. And next thing you know, Irvin's being thrown down the stairs. And then
I
you
love
see
her.
Maggie come following him down, telling him forcefully that he needs to give that bag back to her friend.
Aww,
And then she looks
that's
up and she just notices you sitting there.
I'm just gonna wave at her with a smile.
And she waves back. Then she looks down at Irvin and she's like, "Go apologize now." And then Irvin picks up the bag and walks over to you and gives it back. And in the most pitiful apology, he's like, I'm sorry."
Thank you for the bag back. Were you looking for something particular?
Me and Ao talked, and we wanted to learn more about the gem that you found.
Well, I don't really know much about it myself. But if I find out anything, I'll let you know. Please don't take the bag. The bag's very important to me. It was a gift from someone I hold very dear.
You're just gonna give me information on this gem that you learn and just fight me taking this stuff from you?
Oh no, I'm very mad that you take this from me, and if you take it again, I will beat you up. But I like Maggie. And you gave it back to me.
And Maggie's like, "I like you too, Delphi."
Thank you, Maggie. And if I notice anything, I'm going to reiterate, if you took anything and did not put it back in the bag, I will be very unhappy, and you may not like the consequences.
I promise we didn't take anything out of it. We were trying to find the gem. Clearly, it's something important if it made you guys all have a vision.
Yeah,
We
that's the other thing. You saw us touch the gem and pass out, and you decided the best option was to take the gem and touch it. Like, I don't make good choices, but that doesn't seem like a great choice.
Look, Ao really wants to find work for us, and this sounds like it could be very interesting.
Okay, well, when I need a job, I go and ask about it. I don't just go take things from people. That's how you don't get jobs. Because then people think you're gonna take things from them.
Well, I don't know what else to say.
Anyway, if something comes up and I discover that this thing can be lucrative in some way. I mean, I might have to run it by my party. Well, I don't know. I'll have to talk to the people I came with. But I'll try to drop you guys any information that's, not going to cause harm to the people I came with. Because I feel like I owe them some sort of loyalty first,
I mean, I understand that. Your party should always come first.
Yeah, but if there's anything where, we need any extra jobs or we find extra work for you guys, I'll keep you guys first in mind. Sound good?
Sounds good. We're always here to help.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Don't steal from me again.
I'll try not to.
There's no try here. There's an active decision you make when you steal things.
Maggie just stares at Irvin and just glares at him. He's like, I promise I won't take anything from you or your party.
Thank you, Irving. Now, I hope you guys have a good day. I should probably get back to my party in case they happen to notice that I'm gone. But I hope that this can be, like... I don't want us to fight, yo. And tell Ao that, like, whatever we did to upset her, I'm sorry.
I mean, one of your members did attack her.
Wait, what?
When Marius did do vicious mockery towards her.
I just didn't like her haircut. Well,
I'll have a talk with him.
It
Okay.
really hurt her feelings.
Yeah, I could imagine that would hurt her feelings. Tell her that he's probably sorry, and I will talk to him for her.
Hurt her feelings so much to the tune of like 2 HP.
Yeah, that's feelings.
That's a lot of
hurt
HP.
sometimes.
Yeah, for feelings being hurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a grievous wound.
Well, this is kind of like Undertale. It doesn't matter. You tried harm.
Undertale doesn't matter.
No.
Woo!
No. That's
That's a
not
strong opinion.
not what I said.
Anyway,
just
I think I
meant
probably
that
at this point,
it's
I give
Undertale.
him a tight smile. I nod at Maggie with like a more genuine smile of friendship, and then I'm probably gonna head back to see if I can meet up with my group of people.
She kind of smiles back and then she kind of goes in for like an awkward hug.
I hug her back. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate you.
I love that.
It's the nearest you're ever
Just-
getting to your picnic.
Again, if you guys ever if you guys want to know some stuff, you can always ask first. We're not monsters. I mean,
Okay.
they keep
might.
me around. I think. I hope they keep me around. And then I'm gonna go back and see if I can find my party.
Okay. So you leave the Broken Tusk and head back where you're staying.
Did you confirm the contents of the bag of holding before you left?
I probably would wait until I'm away from them and then duck into an alleyway and see if I can just confirm. But to confirm the contents, you have to actually think about it, right?
Or you can turn it inside out and it dumps everything out.
I'm not gonna dump everything out in the middle of public.
Why not?
There's so much money in there. So yeah, I'd probably
Turn over.
if you turn over a
Mary-
bag of holding, everything in it comes out of
Over
it.
a dumpster.
And if you put a bag of holding in another bag of
let's
holding, it
grab
destroys
it.
the world.
It's fine.
But if you put in the condition you put it in, or does it bump into other
Gray's
things?
getting all robotic again.
Yeah. Do they have marzipan at the Broken Tusk Inn? Banana marzipan?
Served by a guy named Rufus.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you do confirm everything that is in there.
For the record, I was asking if she put a potted plant in the bag of holding, would all the petals remain intact, or would it bump into everything?
Well, it goes into a
Or
separate
would it
dimension,
not
right?
bump into anything?
Yeah.
Well- Until you put it upside down, apparently. In which case, how does this separate dimension know about gravity?
Inside out. You reach in and pull the bottom out from the inside, and that's what empties everything.
So you pull the dimension into this dimension.
Yes.
Interesting.
Dimensional folding
Sort
is
of.
disastrous. That is the moral of the story.
It's fine. Anyways,
That's how Delphi's
So-
gonna destroy the world.
It's fine. We've seen Doctor Strange.
Hashtag here for it.
so Delphi, you start going back to
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of the place off the top of my head. Where
The
you guys
Earthly
have been
Possum.
staying.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Earthly Possum.
The
The
EPP,
earthly-
baby.
The Earthly Possum.
This is gonna
Not
be like one of those where we
confused with the rest
run
of the
into each
thing.
other awkwardly as they're looking for me, or is it gonna be like we go by each other? Is
Of
it going
course.
to be
Oh,
I show
okay,
up?
Fine. Delphi, roll
CSI,
perception.
Gal.
Everyone else roll perception.
We're all rolling perception to see each other.
And I hope we miss, and you go back to the Earthy Possum Pub as we storm into the Broken Tusk and have no idea that you've made amends with Maggie.
15.
16.
8. Adria's too busy reading her spell book per usual.
21.
Seriously?
Well, Del notices Delphi.
Oh.
I rolled a 16, if that helps.
Yeah, you would notice Del also and the rest of the party.
Oh! Hi guys! What are you doing out here in the streets at like 6 in the morning? It's really early.
We were looking for you. Your room has been broken into, and the Romarlin will not stop going in and on about the latch on the window. And
It was
You
broken
aren't
from
there.
the outside.
Marius
Oh.
isn't there, and Marius isn't with you, and we thought you were, maybe on like a breakfast date, but obviously this is not the case because here you are by yourself, and we
Why
saw the tracks
are
that
you-
we were following, and there was a lot of drama.
Why would Marius be with me?
Well, he wasn't anywhere else.
Okay. No, Marius isn't with me. My room did get broken into, but it's fine, I got it back.
You got your room back.
Well, I got the bag of holding that was stolen back.
They stole the bag of holding.
Yeah, but it's cool. Maggie, totally beat up the guy who stole it and gave it back to me. I would have beat
The
him up, but
crystal
she
razors
beat him
are the
up
ones
first.
who stole they stole the bag.
I mean, I feel like we shouldn't be yelling about having a bag of holding in the middle of the street.
The crystal razors
That
are thieves and scoundrels who broke into your room and stole your belongings.
No, they're my
Hold up.
friends.
Hold up.
I say that equally loudly, it's just that Megan's voice is very tired.
Where are they now?
Well, we're gonna go back to the tavern so I can make sure they didn't actually take anything out of this. I mean, I'm going to do that. You're welcome to go elsewhere, I guess. I'm not your boss, and I guess technically we have no connections to each other, but I'm gonna go back to the tavern and make sure that no one took my stuff.
Well, actually, we've been doing quite a bit of discussing this morning, and first off, are you truly all right? I mean, your room was locked, and the window was broken, and I know
Yeah,
you're
he
perfectly
broke
capable
in
of
through the
taking care of
window, and then I
yourself.
decided to jump out of the window and chase after him, but I didn't catch him. So then I staked out the tavern they were at, and then I went to go sit down at the tavern to yell at them. But then Maggie pushed him down the stairs.
Oh,
Did he
well, that made
survive?
it better.
Yeah,
Which one was it? It wasn't the goblin. I bet he didn't seem like he had it in him.
Megan
It was-
doesn't know.
It was the
what-
human.
I was gonna say, yeah, Irving was human.
Irvin's the human.
It was a human.
Oh,
But he was just looking for information. I guess they're really low on money. And they needed a
Seriously?
job. So he was just looking for the diamond emerald thing to find a job.
Or
They
to
needed-
sell? Not exactly the same as a job, but I mean...
No, they saw us get knocked unconscious and decided they wanted to get knocked unconscious.
They think this is a job?
What does it have to do with a job? What?
Getting
know
roofied
what?
by a
Wait,
magic
wait.
camera in a
I didn't
secret-
say that they made good choices, guys. I
my
said
friend,
There may be wisdom in the idea of returning to our rooms, and Adri, I know you wanted more breakfast, and Delphi, if you've truly been up all night, maybe we can get you some more, and we can discuss this further.
Yeah, I
As
mean, food sounds good,
long
but
as you
also I
don't
really want to go make sure
think-
nothing went missing out of this.
We can do that, but then there's also the question, like, where is Marius? Did they take him too? Did, like, one of, the crystal razors,
Wait, is he
horrible
in the bag of
scoundrel,
holding?
nincompoop, ne'er-do-wells,
I
break
mean,
in and steal your
holding.
stuff?
Was
And then
Marius's
another
room...
one?
Dal, was Marius's room broken into? Because if so, I'm gonna go have to fight some people.
I don't know.
Maybe we should go check that before we beat up a bunch of random
He
people.
wasn't in there.
New plan. CSI Jagao will resume this investigation, but we have to get back to the scene of the crime.
All right, we'll go back to the Earthy Possum Pub,
and as we walk, can we fill Delphi in on everything the Elder told us, and how we're supposed to go after we talk to our whole group? Go find the other Elder and talk to them. And
It's like a lot of people to talk to.
I was gonna say, like, can we just pull everybody in
lot
with
of
one
talking.
meeting? Like,
I wish, but the
set up
guy
a
rushed
Calendly poll
things,
and
you
call it
know?
a day.
We need like a town forum. We can invite the other group so they're not breaking into other people's rooms. Seriously, security around here is questionable. Not that Ro didn't jimmy the lock, because once again, she didn't use the right key to get in. Anyway. I'm montaging and assuming we can get to a room without.
Yeah, whose room do we end up back in?
Particularly.
Whose room
Well,
do you
I'm
want
gonna
to
go to Marius's.
Okay, we'll go to Marius's room.
Which should be unlocked because Del broke into it already.
I broke in the same way you did. I didn't break anything, I just unlocked it.
Yes. But did you lock it back?
I don't remember. Let me, consult. Let me roll. Yes, I would have.
Okay, so Ro is going to, while complaining about security, jimmy Marius's lock. And
yes,
just
I see what you mean about security here being very poor.
I know, it is such a.
You guys are getting along. I'm glad to see it.
This
It's
is
been
the
an
same
interesting
way.
morning.
This is the same way I got in, earlier this morning.
Oh, I see.
There's just a little. If you just lift and you do the little bit of like half twist, on the up, and it just pops.
Ro is going to pause in her jimmying and going, I think I got this. Like, excuse me, I have this under control.
I wasn't telling you how to do it. I was explaining like you recognized like what you do to get in.
Anyway, so we all pile into Marius's room. How does it look? I know that there's a note on the counter, but is there anything else? Do we need to roll to notice anything about his room?
What do you need to know about Marius's room?
Anything
Does it
of
look
interest?
like someone broke into it, or like he walked out?
Is it
Besides
stuff
Del breaking into it. And then Ro breaking into it.
Is the window in a similar state to Delphi's?
His window is closed.
Well,
no sign of tampering.
If he did leave through the window, then he was smart enough to shut it.
He probably, left through the door and just locked it behind him, like a person.
Well, please refrain from jumping out windows without calling a friend. That way, if it doesn't go well, we can at least pick you up afterward.
Honestly, I just didn't really think. Like, I was just like, I gotta get the bag of holding back before anyone finds out it's gone. Gonna go catch that guy. And I got it back before anyone found out it was gone, so we're all good.
Alright. Well, do you want
Yeah,
to...
so
I
did they
assume
take
that
anything?
this is... Yeah,
I haven't been able to check yet. Do you think here is safe to check?
I mean, we are the
probably.
only ones in the room.
I dumped the bag of holding out on the bed.
And Dell will look at Adri
By
as
the way, did
as
Marius
the
make
gold
his bed?
spill out.
I feel
And
like
he
Marius
will
is the
hold
type
up.
of person to make his bed.
He will hold up
Okay.
the contract. Now is your
Hmm.
chance, Adri. I see all your gold.
Oh, that's that's not my gold.
It's not her gold. This is my gold. Well, our gold to
You
share.
said that your gold, Adri, was in Delphi's bag.
Yeah,
What's
but
this?
definitely not.
Why
How
are you
much of
holding
this
up
is
a
yours?
napkin?
Why not?
How much of this is yours?
Not much. I don't.
So when you said that you only had, like the 20 whatever and the, whatever silvers, but that all the rest of your money was in the Delphi's bag, did you mean that all of your money was on your person and there is no money of yours in Delphi's bag?
Look, I'm not trying to not pay Ro. It's just
I don't know. It seems like that is exactly what is happening here.
we just haven't.
I'm gonna start putting everything back in the bag to make sure I have everything.
We just haven't.
Ro is too distracted just exploring the rest of the room to see if any of Marius' stuff is there.
Look, I didn't even realize she had that much on her. Like, that is not.
I told you guys I had money that we could use as a group.
See, as a group, it's not mine.
This is not what you told me this morning. It has literally just been minutes.
Why are you guys arguing about money anyway?
A contract
He has a sense...
was drawn up between Adri and Romarlin for Romarlin's
And-
service to be met and concluded with all satisfaction. And Adri agreed to see it paid and reconciled
Yes.
as soon as she was able, and
Yes.
that she had money in your bag. And now the story is changing, and she has no money in your bag.
Well, I mean,
How much money do you need?
5.
is it 5? I was thinking 2 for some reason.
What?
It was like 50, guys.
Oh, was it?
What?
I don't
No.
remember.
I believe it was 500. There was
500.
1,000 that was debated, but Rose still needs to find out more about this 1,000 currency. It sounds too much like a different number. You know.
I'm
like
looking
you
at the
do.
contract right now. Adri is to pay Marlin 500 gold pieces as soon as she is physically capable of doing so and comes into possession of such coin.
Okay, well, she's not physically capable of doing so.
All is well. Ro is going to give a small smile at this whole shenanigan and go, now, do you have the emerald that's not an emerald in your bag after all? Is it still there?
That's an excellent question. Rhogar, do I have everything I need? Or that I was in there? Did they take anything?
Nothing's been taken out. Everything's in there.
Then probably the emerald is currently on the bed, unless it's disappeared from my bag of holding.
Nope, it's there.
Here, the emerald. They said they couldn't find it. But Maggie did push him down the stairs, so...
That
Yeah.
would distract
They
me.
didn't find it. It wasn't that they didn't find it. It's just Maggie was like, "No, you're giving everything back."
Oh, okay.
Go, Maggie.
I love her.
Should she be in our party too?
Honestly, I don't think they're that bad of people. I just think that they need money, and they were willing to do whatever it took to get the money, which, like, a lot of people in the world exist like that.
Adri shrugs
Yeah.
and says, well, I mean, Gel was with us for a while, and he seemed fine.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see him today. Also, did you guys know, like, Marius attacked Ao?
I believe
Yes.
I heard something passing about her hair.
Yeah, apparently that really upset her.
Interesting.
I told them I'd mention it to him.
It would be
I wonder if it
surprising,
was-
if it didn't upset her.
I wonder if it's just that it's blue. I mean,
I
he
mean,
didn't
people
seem
attack
to
me
have
all
a
the
thing.
time, and like, that's fine.
Yes, but not
Hmm.
when you're in the middle of fighting a giant shark that could bite you in half at any moment.
That is
They
true.
can
I didn't think
slow.
about that part. I'm gonna put everything back in the bag of holding except the emerald.
It's interesting that Kel wasn't with them. Was it the rest of the party otherwise?
Honestly, Maggie pushed Irving down the stairs, and then they gave me the bag of holding back, and those two are the only two I saw.
Huh, okay.
Hmm.
They said that Irving and Ao needed, like, they were worried about the game's ability to make money,
Do you think we
and
should
so
go
that's
talk
why
to
they
them?
took the emerald, because they wanted to see if there was, like, a job in it.
Well, they seemed rather upset that they didn't get the 50 gold at the end of the contest. Maybe we should go give them 25? See if that makes them at
No.
ease a little?
I divided
No,
that gold up
no.
individually between all of you guys. So you all have 10 pieces of gold from the contest.
Ro's going to tilt her head. Well, if settling these things about money helps relations as much as has been implied today, maybe that is what we need to do.
That is
Maybe
not
that-
how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Then how do you propose it works?
You don't just go up to, your rivals and are like, we feel really bad about how badly we beat you yesterday and how we are so much better than you. So here's half of our winnings so you don't feel so bad about yourselves. That will make them feel worse.
He is right. That would make them worse. I just told them that if we heard of a job, we would pass it on to them.
Well,
I can think of a couple jobs we can pass along to those.
But we're going to pass along good jobs to them
unpleasant
because
individuals.
I was the only one harmed, and so I get to choose what happens.
Okay, I don't have any good jobs I was thinking of.
Well, what about
I had
what
a
the
feeling
elder
that-
said about figuring out what's going on with the visions? I do believe, Del, you mentioned that there would be a site north. We needed to go get a map.
Yes, so to bring you more up to speed, Delphi, his elderishness met with us over breakfast this morning and, asked to know about the vision that we had together. And I didn't remember it super great, but he did say that it sounded like maybe it was talking about the evil temple at Bazazan. And that maybe that is where we need to go. Bazazan has something to do with the betrayer gods, and now there's like a military city that has been built around the temple to keep all the bad things in the temple.
Apparently,
And
there's
this
no
is maybe
direct
where we are
communication.
going.
Yes.
So we're gonna continue to party together then?
So this was the other thing that, was a very big interest in getting
We need more napkins.
Romarlin free of her contract so that she could come along willingly and of her own volition instead of, being morally obligated to follow Adria around because of the existing contract. And that was so that, once this is fulfilled, that, the five of us could, be a real adventuring party together. If you wanted.
Yeah. I just didn't think anybody else would want to. Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah.
Oh, we still don't have Marius.
Yeah,
Well,
I know. I'm
well,
kind of worried.
we can check around. We still do need to get that map, and possibly we can talk to a communication station. Maybe there's a way of contacting the military
what?
folks up there. If they're, I don't know. Hopefully, there's a way to contact the local military, and the fact that, hi, that creepy temple that you're guarding.
I would think the
well,
military could do that, but this isn't a military town.
I don't know. Surely there's a way of contacting the authorities somehow if all is at peace.
Maybe. This seems strange to me, though.
All right, well, if you don't want to actually talk to anyone. We also need to speak with that other elder. So, yeah. I don't know. For some reason, the elders don't talk to each other. They just talk to us.
So we had you had one elder come talk to you, and he was all like, I refuse to wait.
Yes, he really wanted to get, everything that he had
And
to
then he
say
told
off his
us
chest.
all of this stuff that you just
Yes.
told
But he
me.
wanted to talk to
It's
his
true.
friend.
And now we have to go talk to a different elder.
I don't know if that is exactly true.
Or at least get
We
a
were just
map.
told that there's a second elder, and we definitely need a map.
And also, Adrian might be hungry still, and I haven't eaten anything.
So food is on the menu, and Bro's
And where
gonna
was
glance
it? Where was
around.
it you had mentioned that, the crystal razors were staying? Where did you find them when you recovered your bag?
Why?
Yeah, you had almost mentioned it, and then I thought maybe you would, want to finish mentioning it.
They were
Should we
in
have
town.
prefaced with them?
I
They
don't
were
know,
in-
with everybody wanting to talk to other people, I was like, maybe there's more words to be, had with Ao and, Irvin, and I don't know.
I don't want to upset Maggie.
Bro's gonna act awkward. Do you think I need to apologize to them?
What?
No. I mean, bro, I'm gonna be real, you weren't even brought up.
Oh, okay. Good.
I don't... Yeah. They're in a different tavern.
Oh, okay.
And at this
Well,
point,
Del, you...
Delphi hears Del say, even though Del doesn't say anything, he hears him clearly say, and I would like to tell them right where they can be staying, if it were up to me.
Are you feeling okay?
Fine, yes.
Okay.
I guess.
I just wanted to check in. Make sure things are okay after everything that happened.
What?
Let's get some breakfast, and I can tell you everything about this morning. How's that?
All right.
Meanwhile,
Adri, would you
Rose
like
turned
breakfast
the...
part 2? I'm going to
Yes,
take
Ro.
silence. I'm going to take silences.
I'm
Right.
trying to turn Marius's room upside down. Anything whatsoever?
I mean, you don't find anything weirdly out of
Okay.
place. You don't see his stuff, like his bag that he would normally take.
So his instruments and
No
everything are gone.
tracks. Hmm. Maybe he found a gig at a different pub. Maybe he found a gig at that other pub.
I don't think he
Anyway,
was
you guys are
there.
headed
Did I
down
see
to
Marius at
breakfast?
the other pub?
You didn't see him.
He could
I
also be off
Hmm.
proselytizing. That's gotten him into a lot of trouble before.
Well... Oh, well, where would he be doing that?
Who even knows here in Jigao?
Hmm.
Last time he was doing it, it was at Alfie's.
Is there a cafe around here?
Adri just kind of looks up from her book, kind of dreamily. Bean
They
juice.
don't have bean juice here.
I thought I explained this. Bean juice is only over there. Here,
Well,
no bean
Look,
juice.
they have hopes of finding bean juice.
We all do.
wake up in the
Everyone.
morning.
That's
just
why
hope
Alfie
for
had
it.
to franchise. That's why Dell and him are going to work to spread the bean juice franchise.
Spread the word.
Hmm. So, all right. Search for Marius, secondary objective, but kind of important one. Find a map, very important. Possibly go talk to other party. Should we have breakfast here, or should we have breakfast elsewhere? Actually, do we have to, like, check out or something? Or do we just leave? And they go, well, I guess they're gone.
I mean,
we'll
we're not-
check out when we're done, but we
Yeah.
have the rooms.
I
for as
mean,
long as we
you
need the
have
rooms.
these rooms as long as you need them.
Okay. I just realized that we
I
just kind of
spared
leave
no
places.
expense. I spared no expense.
And we appreciate that, Del. Thank you.
Indeed. Especially to have so many.
Yeah, that was really kind of you. You're a good crewmate, party member, teammate.
You're just making words up now.
That does
Crewmate?
not detract from the sentiment. She gives you
Well.
finger guns and then walks away.
Finger, hand, crossbows. What was that? I don't know. And Del kind of mimics it. You know, that feels pretty good. I think yeah. And he will, do the same to Adri and to Ro. Breakfast part 2.
You know, I feel like this is funny until someone accidentally shoots some sparks out their finger or something.
Don't worry about it. That's not Delphi. Delphi's gone, probably.
Ro tries the finger.
Delphi is
tries-
hungry.
Ro tries the finger guns, but Mage Hand accidentally happens and slaps somebody.
Ouch!
Oops. Oh,
Yours
sorry.
were loaded? How did you even do that?
She's gonna look at her fingers.
Put the
I
safety
don't-
on next time.
I'm sorry. I don't use crossbow very often, let alone finger crossbows.
Also,
Anyway.
I did not know that you could do that.
Oh, really? Thought everybody could do that.
No.
I mean,
Move-
I've been
Move
practicing,
things
but
at the distance and, just slap somebody invisibly while you're standing several feet away. No, that is not a normal thing.
oh, well, it's not that. I mean, it's not the strongest, I will grant you. It just kind of is a nudge.
You tell that to
I'm
my
getting-
cheek.
Ro's going to carefully put her finger guns away and head downstairs. So, Adri, are we having breakfast here or at the other pub? Are you feeling pub food or tavern food?
Food is food.
We don't know yet.
Are
where
we
the other
eating
one is,
here or are
so
we
we're
going to
eating here.
try to eat with the.
Food.
Oh,
The other place has not yet been disclosed, so we should just eat here.
I mean, if you guys want to go eat at the other place, I can show you where it is.
There are some things I would like to make the Crystal Razors eat. You hear, even though Dell doesn't say anything.
Yes, and that's what I'm worried about.
Delphi's gonna start getting hangry soon.
It might be nice to say hi to some people in the group.
Yeah, there are some things I would like to say other than hi to some people in the group. Adri hears without Dell saying anything.
maybe we'll find Marius. He was rather pouty about not playing a gig here.
Yeah, but he wasn't there. I think I would have noticed
get-
him.
He did get to play, though.
Oh, that's true.
I thought about that other guy's strings breaking, and then they actually broke, and it was like, hey, that's wonderful. Now Marius can play.
Excellent. Anyway, we're very distracted, but we are all walking, and we're walking.
So you're going to
Right?
so you're all going to the Broken Tusk?
Yeah, sure. Delphi feels like this is such a bad idea,
Oh,
but she has been outnumbered by the rest of the people.
You're guiding us. You could tell us no. Unless
But-
you have a better idea. Is there a place to shop for a map along the way or something?
Is there a place to shop for a map along the way?
I mean, you could find one.
We look for a place to shop for a map along the way.
Okay.
Did we find it?
Is this a roll?
It sounded like a hint.
I mean, you can find places just fine.
Do any of them sell maps?
Yes, you find the map place.
Yay, a map place. Does it have where we're going on it?
Yes, yes,
Is
it
the
does.
name of this establishment.
The
How to
wonderful
not
world
make
of maps.
friends. I love it. Is it a chain? Let it go here forever.
You'll have to find out.
Oh my goodness. I want to.
Oh, the wonderful world of maps.
Wait a minute.
You-
Hold
Well,
up.
actually,
We
I wouldn't know
don't
that.
need
That's
it.
what that says.
I
Never
forgot.
mind.
Guys, I forgot. We don't need it. Ro's gonna pull out her book. I got a
Don't.
map right here.
Hell groans.
And she's
Just
gonna
Eh,
flip
throw
you-
that thing
you
away
turn-
already.
You open your book and turn to the page
My
for your
favorite.
house, and everything is spelled completely wrong. And
I mean, it's a strange language anyway. But, alright. But can I find... let me remember where we're going.
Bazozan.
Gesundheit.
Bazazazazazazan. Here we
Bazazazam.
come.
Bazu's Land. Is there a
Zaz-
Bazu's Land?
Zazuland.
Yeah.
You do find a Zazu land.
Excellent. Is there a map?
I mean, you do see a map, and it's like very, very bottom of the map.
While Romarlin is trying to find Bazozan in her accursed Adla book,
In the wonderful world of maps. Shop.
Dell would very much like to purchase a map that is as identical as possible as to the one that has been shared in our party Discord.
You do find one for 1 gold.
I would
It's
like
going
to
to
purchase this map of Jorhas, please.
I pay for it.
Okay.
Are there more than one?
There's several.
There's like multiple copies of it.
Yeah.
I will buy one of my own as well.
Okay.
Ro's going to compare it to her book, sure
Okay.
that it's going to match.
2 gold pieces removed from the party funds.
No,
This
Only
is this is what the map you purchased looks like.
oh, I have vision on this map, so it just looks like a tiny face in the middle of a sea of blackness.
If you drag the face,
slowly moves around.
Hold on.
if you drag the face, you can
Yeah,
make
we
it
just need-
That's all we
We just
appear.
need to. We just need to remove vision on the map.
How do I let you see everything?
So from the scenes,
I'm having fun with this.
If you right click on the map, there's allow token vision or something like that. That needs to be disabled.
Ooh, there's a sneaky sneak.
Or you can leave it enabled and just turn on like global illumination. I think both will accomplish the same
It's
thing.
like an eraser.
Yeah, if you click the thing.
You saw-
Yeah.
That was fun. Okay.
Zoom.
I put the party
Whoa.
back. It
So Magara, you've only subtracted 1 gold from the party funds, correct?
Because you won't let Delphi
Land.
buy things for you, yes. But she gives you a look as if to say, it's a goal, I could totally do that for you, just saying.
yeah.
That's not the point.
This is what the purchase maps look like. Well, meanwhile, the Rose book has
colorful.
Zazu land way
Oh, we are
down.
going to have to walk through a place called the Barbed Fields.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a
Why?
wonderful trip.
Well, I mean, we could go by the coast.
Oh,
There
and
are
then
these
I see what you are saying. This is a good idea. I like this plan.
Yes, we go by it this way. Yes?
How do we do that?
We hire
your
a
boat
boat.
is your boat is not here anymore.
Yes, but
unfortunately.
we can go get a different boat. There are plenty of docks around here, and
Are there?
well, there were like 7 when we did that race thing.
Are those like boat docks or like fishing docks or like, big tortoise turtle docks?
There's going to be a subtle glare that happens at this comment. That is a sensitive subject.
Are we in a giant tortoise right now? Like a shop on a tortoise back?
Yes.
Ro is not okay.
So, from what you've told me so far, there's like not really money getting out of this, right?
Correct. This is not like, a job that we are hired to do. This is, curly-haired dark man named Elixian.
This is
Says
fate.
he is trapped, and we are fated, and only thanks to the Moonweaver, thank the Moonweaver, we can go save him. Please go save him. And then the elderishness guy from
maybe
here.
that other party can get us a boat.
I don't want to owe them anything, except things that would make Delphi upset if we gave it to them.
I just don't want to upset Maggie. She seemed really nice. And Adria likes Gale.
Okay, well, there's still this Irvin guy who, can just hop right off.
What are... He's okay.
I mean, I'm not happy with him either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little mad about some stuff, but he's okay, I guess.
I do.
Irving or Gale?
Gale.
What did he do? Do I need to punch him?
No, it's just, I don't know, something seemed a little off during some of the contests.
Ugh.
He started agreeing with me, and it made me reconsider my life choices.
He agreed with you?
Anyway.
I mean, I guess he agrees with all of us that Adria is cool.
Well, that is something to agree.
Adria is cool. Like, we all think that you're cool. Okay, I think you're cool. And...
But he holds a lot of interest in her book, and we did have that as an objective of let's not let the strange person who can get out of cages and then beat people single-handedly.
Yeah, that part was a little bit suspicious.
Just saying. However, I still
what do you think?
We could get a boat.
What do I think about what? A lot.
Maybe Aeon knows where to get a boat.
Anyone know where to get a boat?
We could probably talk to, the Elder again to get good direction in that sense.
Okay.
And, not, the Crystal Razors and their, sneaky,
their
untrustworthy troop.
The steely ways. Gonna have to, like, barricade my door extra hard if I sleep in there again.
Well, if Maggie stood up for you, though, maybe we should at least tell her we're leaving town once things are firmed up. Not necessarily details, just that we're leaving.
I was just gonna send him a note that said, there's no money involved in this job, I would look somewhere else.
Oh, we are allowed to send him notes?
Apparently we can't even send the military notes, so...
Del, you're allowed to do whatever you want. I would never stop you from doing something.
I've got some notes to send to those people.
Ro is going to raise an eyebrow. You're letting Del do whatever he wants.
Well, yeah, he's his own person.
For someone who's rather upset about thievery, I recall a certain candlestick incident.
Okay, you perhaps are misunderstanding the upsettedness, in a broad moral sense, when it is, a targeted personal sense.
Either way, we have a lot to do, lots to talk about, decisions to make, people to potentially talk to.
Or shoot, we don't know how things will happen.
Hal,
No,
please don't
I'm not
shoot my
going to
friends.
shoot anyone.
I won't shoot Maggie.
Finger guns got put away.
Unless she has to. There's no guarantees in life, is all I'm saying.
Okay. I trust you to do the right thing.
So where should we go now? Are we still going to
Well,
the
we have a
Broken
map.
Tusk to have breakfast, and, this confrontation that I very much wish to have with, these people who I very much don't like? Or is that not what we are doing now and we are going someplace else?
Well, we do need to get that breakfast. Delphi, you had a distinct impression we shouldn't do this. Why don't you think we should talk to them?
I just don't think we should make enemies when we can make friends. That's it.
Agreed.
I
So
mean-
we should buy them breakfast.
We can buy them breakfast. That's fine with me.
Yes. And if we get all the right elements and get a nice tablecloth, it'll be like a picnic, except it'll be inside.
I guess? Yeah. We'll be having a meal with
Rose's
them.
outlook on this day has just improved.
Is that okay with everyone else, though? I don't want to make people do things they don't want to do.
Adri, do you have an opinion?
Is the food there good?
Have
I'm
any of us eaten here before?
gonna be real. I sat outside of the building all night until it opened, and then I went in and I sat in the back of the corner of the room trying to hide, but I clearly didn't, because as soon as Irving got kicked down the stairs, they, saw me.
But is the food good?
I didn't eat any, is what I'm telling you.
It smelled good.
Why do you think I'm so emotional right now? I haven't had any food. It smelled delicious.
Fist it is. Off we go.
As we continue the rest of the way, Dell is going to keep... I'm presuming it's at the point in the day where Jagao is starting to wake up, and there are people beginning to walk through the streets, and we just bought a map, so the shops are obviously open at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Dell will like to just continually, as we're going, and this may slow progress down, but so be it. Just keep stopping and asking about if anyone has seen someone of Marius's description.
Yeah,
Good
you
idea.
do the. you ask a few, and no one's really seen anyone who looks like him. I mean, around here, he kind of blends in a bit.
Can I stop someone and ask if anyone knows where the Everlight? There's
Don't have-
anything to the Everlight? That's
They don't
the
have that here.
Ooh.
Delphi
There-
wouldn't know that.
There is a
She
temple
don't.
here.
There is a temple here.
Yes.
I
But
would think that would be to the Luxon, though, right?
sorry, that's what I meant. I'm confusing my deities in this game.
You're
Easily
good.
done. Easily done.
There's only a temple to the Luxon here.
I look at the others
That's
and
what I meant.
I say it might be worth trying there.
Mm-hmm.
I am worried about him.
Breakfast? Actually,
I
we
can't-
should get him for breakfast. Let's.
Well, we have a hangry person now.
I don't.
And we
Are
don't
there any
know that
street-
he's
Never
in
mind.
mortal danger.
He can
Is there
get his
any
own
street food
breakfast.
stalls that we're passing? Because Delphi can just eat at this, grab a street food thing to tide her over.
Yeah.
You don't
Breakfast.
see
food
any
carts?
Breakfast turkey
food, you don't see
leg.
any food carts open right now.
Dream dies as soon as it was born.
Yes. But looking
Well, I guess
around,
we're
you
going to the broken tusk.
do notice someone who you think might be Marius off in the distance.
Oh,
Guys, is that
Hard to tell
run
from this
over
far
to him.
away.
let's head that way. Charge! Ducking, maneuvering through.
And as you get closer, you do notice it is Marius's armor, but that is not Marius wearing it.
Pulling up short. Bro's
Ooh.
going to be very confused.
Is it a tiefling in armor?
It is a tiefling.
Like a 6'5" tiefling?
Yeah. I mean, tieflings are pretty
What?
common here.
What are the odds?
What does the cloak look like?
It's just a normal cloak.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Pardon me. Just one quick question.
You see them turn around and like, yes.
I couldn't help but notice the armor which you are wearing, which I very much believe, until as of this morning, as far as I knew, belonged to my best friend. And I was wondering maybe if he sold it to you, and if so, when you saw him, or if not, who did?
Well, I did in fact buy this armor late. It was pretty late last night.
who did you buy it from?
Another fellow tiefling.
I'll begin to describe Marius with, the instruments and this, his habits of speech and accent.
And he'll confirm, yeah, that sounds like the guy I bought this off of.
Which way was he?
He sold it to me fairly cheap.
Did he explain why he was selling his armor?
No.
Insight check.
You roll insight.
That's a 1.
Oh
Del
no.
doesn't
Delphi, you
realize.
don't
Insight
believe
check.
him.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what your response was because everyone was talking.
You don't believe him with the 1.
Ooh.
If anyone else wants to roll insight, they can.
So
Bro's
Del.
got a 15. How does a 15 handle?
With the 15, you feel like he's telling the truth.
Hold on, I actually have proficiency, so I'm curious if I can actually do better than a 15, and the answer is no. Continue.
What's Del doing?
Well,
So Del doesn't realize this is happening, but this gentleman needs to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
The DC
Well, that's
is
a
12.
I was gonna say that's a 3 on the die, so yeah, no, he fails.
All right. Well, for the next minute, I am reading this man's thoughts,
Okay.
and all of the surface thoughts, which at this point I would imagine would be all about Marius, since
Yes.
he's the topic of conversation, are projected to me.
Mm-hmm. Which, he's just kind of thinking on the surface, like, why are these people questioning where I got this armor? Like, I bought it. Like, are they looking for this guy? Is this guy that I bought this stuff trouble?
You're sure you bought it from him?
I'm pretty positive I bought this armor from.
And it was from a tiefling.
Yes.
And you left the tiefling alive.
Yes.
If I find out you didn't...
Elfie.
What? He's clearly suspicious!
I'm sorry, sir. Where did this transaction go down?
No respect.
Well,
I have all the respect.
I was over by the Earthy Possum Inn, where I was in that area.
Oh.
Looked like he was just coming out of there, and he came up to me asking me if I wanted to buy it.
Was he upset
well.
or
Did you see which way he went?
excited? What, like, how did he seem to you?
He just, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like you guys are looking for this man, and you're.
Yes, we are!
Is it trouble
We're
that I'm
looking for
wearing
him
this armor? Like, I don't.
It's
looking
not
for him
trouble,
because,
he's...
like I said, he is my best friend, and he is missing.
Is this armor stolen? Is this what's going on
No.
here? 'Cause
I mean, unless you stole it, it's not stolen. Did
no,
you steal it?
I didn't steal it. I swear.
Like I said, it belonged to my very dear good friend, who we were expecting to meet us this morning, and he is gone. And he has also inexplicably sold his possessions, and we are trying to figure out why and where he went.
So, just perchance.
I wasn't asking where he was going. He just, all I know is he came up to me, asked me if I wanted to buy this armor. I was like, I mean, I could always use some armor, but how much? And he was just like, oh, yeah, it's gonna be cheap. So I gave him like 3 gold for it, and he seemed happy with it and went on his way.
Ro presents 5 gold. Do you mind if we take that back?
Well, I mean, you just see him start taking off the armor.
Adri kind of covers her eyes a little bit.
Delphi's too busy glaring.
Ro's going to expect this to be ending up in Delphi's bag, so she's not really worried about the tiefling that's stripping. Because clearly he wears an undergarment like any civilized being, right?
Delphi reluctantly starts putting the armor in her bag, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we'll do that.
He just, at this point, he's just going to take the money and start running off. Because he doesn't want trouble.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
You!
Do we believe him? Because he seemed really suspicious. Like, he seemed like he beat Marius up.
I don't know what. Did you guys hear all of what? Del kind of stops for a second, and like as soon as the guy gets like 30 feet away, like the color kind of flushes from Del's face, and blood starts trickling down from one of his ears.
Del!
Oh. Are you...
Delphi's gonna grab...
You guys watch him, like, bring his hand up to his face with another one of his headaches.
Delphi's gonna grab a rag and, like... Can I wipe the blood off? You're bleeding. You're bleeding. Can I wipe it off?
Yeah,
no
okay.
bleeding, please.
She gently starts wiping it off.
What in...
Are you okay?
I don't know. Like, we were asking that guy questions, and then I was hearing him twice. Like, his out loud talking, and then I heard him in my head, too. And I think I believe him, but what in the world was that?
I don't know. I only heard him out loud.
Maybe we need to get you a drink. Water can help the head.
Or something stronger. Just saying.
And Ro's new priority is to get to a restaurant as soon as possible.
Are you good to walk? You look really pale.
I'd be a little
sort
slow,
of light
but
green.
I think I'm steady.
Is this like what happened before?
Like what happened before?
When you had before we left?
I mean,
The headache on the other side of the mountain.
I have one of those right now. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is it okay if are you good to walk on your own? Do you need someone to lead you?
I don't walk.
Do you need the towel
Okay.
over the head business?
And at that, like Dell pulls his goggles down. That's what these are for.
It all makes sense.
Elfie's gonna shoot him another concerned look, but she'll back away.
Boy, I'm glad that sentence kept going after the word him.
And then she shoots finger guns at him.
Ro is considering shooting finger guns.
Yeah, no, she'll back away and... Oh, okay, well, the tavern's right over here.
Ro's gonna go up to the bar, assuming there is one, and go, "Excuse me, could I have two containers of water? Cups would probably be best."
Yeah. Anything else I can get you all, or
They come in buckets here.
They come in buckets.
I have
Yes, we'll
buckets
take 2 buckets. Well, most likely we'll be ordering food and drink of other sort, but my friend seems to be having a bit of medical trouble, so just the water for now. I do apologize to rush our acquaintance, but anyway, water, please. Now,
he hands
hurry.
you your 2 buckets of water. And you do notice the crystal razors sitting in a corner table.
I wave at them.
You
Not
see
really
Maggie.
caring.
Maggie waves back.
I go, we're here for breakfast, don't worry, and then go join the rest. I haven't eaten anything today.
Ro is going to, well, to be honest, her instinct is that water solves all, so she may or may not be pouring water on Dell's head.
What
Not
are
the
you
whole
doing?
bucket.
Well, you're being
Water helps.
Stop it.
Bro, what are
Making
you
me-
doing?
Making me soggy is just going to make me upset.
Oh. It's supposed to cool you off and help you relax. And maybe wash the blood off.
Yes, but not, while I am sitting at the food table in the common room.
That's what the rag is for. And
Oh my
although
goodness.
she's not
The
maybe
thought, take
pouring,
it now.
she's maybe a little less enthusiastic about this particular medical treatment, but she's going to try maybe soaking up some of the water, particularly from his bloody ears. She may or may not have oversaturated the rag, but she meant well.
Bro, make sure you wring that out.
Oh, right. She wrings it out on his ear.
I tried.
At this point, a server comes up to your table asking you all for your order.
All of the eggs and potatoes and bacon you have. Okay, fine. A portion of your eggs and potatoes and bacon. I don't want to put you guys out of house and home.
Pig parts.
Thought you were about to
Sorry.
do the thing with I want all of your eggs and bacon. Now, I'm concerned that you heard I want a great deal of your eggs and bacon. No. I want all of it.
I considered doing that, but then I realized that Delphi knows how hard it is to get eggs, pig parts, and potatoes.
That was
So
as soon as you said you made your order, that was exactly what I thought, and I was like, I'm not gonna be the one to say it.
I'll have like a serving and a half of eggs, pig parts, and potatoes, extra potatoes. And then if you could douse it all in sweet tomato paste. I would love that too.
Going to crinkle her nose up at the tomato paste. That stuff always smells.
You don't have to eat it.
All right. Could we have a couple extra rags, please?
No more rags. Don't give her any more water either. Thank you.
I have buckets. I'm just...
Delphi's gonna pass Dal a dry rag.
I was just trying to help. I guess I will take a portion of whatever the rest are having, minus the tomatoey whatever.
The sweet tomato paste.
The smelly stuff.
Sweet tomato paste.
Del, struggling too much with this headache that won't settle. Doesn't order anything, and the party can quickly take, his general demeanor and mood that he is not up for starting conflict or confrontation or trouble with the Crystal Razors. He just wants to sit quietly and for all of the sound in the world to stop.
Ro is going to throw a rag that is not wet over his head and then turn to the server. You wouldn't happen to have any water in the frozen context, would you?
Give it to her.
Oh, wait!
Don't you do it.
Wait.
Don't you do it.
Wait a minute.
He's doing
I have a bucket of water, and I have... Ro's gonna point at the water.
Oh no.
And it's going to change.
This is how I die.
Into slightly frozen context. It's going to be just a bucket of ice cubes. Do you have a bag or something that I can put these in for my friend?
Oh, I beg. There's a really big tip in it for you if you just go get the food now and stop giving her things she asks for.
I just need a small bag. I need to make an ice pack. I have the ice. I just need to make it a pack.
Don't have any bags.
It really can be a generous tipper, I assure you.
They just turn around and go to the back to put in your order.
Ro is going to shrug, get one of the claws. It's mostly empty of water at this point, and load the center of it with ice and tie it knapsack style, which is not very good, but it's the best she can do right now, and plop it on the back of Del's neck.
Look, I just want to add, out of character, earlier I said I had a headache, and this is more or less what Thray suggested. Minus the magic and stopping rags, but...
Yeah, I don't think she's role-playing right now.
No, she's not. I'm
pretty sure she wouldn't use magic.
You don't know that.
I didn't freeze Del, okay? I know you were all thinking it. I didn't do it. Also, I need to order some ginger. Potentially a tea. But anyway, and Bro may or may not go on, but Thray is going to shut up because I think we're trying to find a place to break. So much irony.
Anyways, shall we get back to playing?
What?
We have a headache to
where
cure.
you are.
Or at least attempt to
There's
cure.
no curing it. Gosh.
I'm turning the music back on.
Is the ice pack at least helping?
No,
Like, I legitimately started feeling bad after this.
the ice pack does not help.
So, anyways, you guys have gotten your food and you've started eating.
Now, while the eating is happening, does Dell experience any relief from Rose medical attentions?
Bro who has no medical knowledge.
Does she stop? Does she stop baptizing / waterboarding him to eat her food?
She only has a 2 in medicine, so
I assume Rose stopped trying to drown Dell.
well, she's satisfied with the ice pack idea.
Okay. So, whether or not anything Road did is what helped, but it does start to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's because she stopped trying to help.
Maybe. You don't know.
This is why we have to find Marius. I'm not about the Healy things. Water fixes everything. Normally.
So while the eating is happening, Dell will try to explain. While the ice that you seemingly can just make out of buckets feels nice, you should understand that I have had headaches like this my whole life, and nothing makes them go away except waiting.
Well, if they can bring you a little comfort, I will do my best. I just apologize. I forget about the freezy bit.
As a
You see, I'm
what
not
was it you
terribly
called us?
of it.
Called us landers? Is that what you were saying the other day?
Yes. I apologize. It is a rather rude term, but it is what you are. If you have a preferred term, I'll give you that.
Well, I mean, I was just going to say that, generally speaking, we don't like being sopping wet.
Oh. I apologize. I was a little enthusiastic and, well, maybe he can remove the water? Actually, let me read the rules here.
She takes it too far and dehydrates Dell to the point of crisis.
I cannot win!
Drink has fireball. No.
Okay,
Now
legitimately.
stacks on a bar pretzel.
This is...
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Oh, here's some water!
Where'd you get pretzels?
Yeah, seriously. Okay, but legitimately, is that a thing? Could I remove... Okay, I know there's the whole remove water thing, but can I take the water that I've drenched him in and put it back in the bucket with shape water? Or because he's technically in said water, does that defeat the purpose? I have all sorts of
We are a half step away
questions
from
now.
is water wet?
Oh no, 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 no.
No, it's not.
We actually look. I work with middle schoolers. No, we're not bringing that up.
Alright, anyway. The point is Rose trying to help, not being able to help, because she's not one of the healers of this group. He's still missing. And we're eating and having breakfast across from this other group. How are they observing us? I mean, clearly friendly relations have been exchanged with Maggie, but how's everybody else look? Are they looking?
They've been kind of looking at you, and at this point, you see Ao stand up and walk towards you.
Marlon is going to be extremely nervous, but yet to try to find the most dignified posture to sit in and wait for her approach.
Okay.
As she does, Dell feeling a little better, but not like himself again, but a little better. As Ao's approaching, but before she's near enough to try to introduce herself, Dell will make eye contact with her and then say to Ro, Ro, is this the one that you were saying accused you of cheating during your race for the spear and got all bent out of shape about, you not following the rules?
It indeed, but maybe we not want to bring that up right now.
Dell is saying this loud enough and pointedly enough for Ao to hear.
Elfie is rolling her eyes at Dell right now, but like looking down while she does it, so he can't tell.
And then when Romarlin confirms what he already knew, I'll look up to Ao. Perhaps you're coming over to, apologize for sending, one of your team in to rob us blind.
Hi, Ao. I tried.
Good morrow to you, Water Blessed.
Look, I understand.
But you have no integrity as a leader, yes. Oh, go on. I'm sorry. I interrupted your very sincere apology.
Just make her more angry. That's fine. Anyways, I came over here to apologize, yes. And I understand why you are bitter with us. But we truly aren't out here to be against you.
It is comforting to hear when, indeed, I believe there is nothing to be against, biased as I be in that subject. However, is there anything you do wish to speak about face to face? As people generally should, considering we both lived through whatever that was. I thank you again for the lives of my friends. I could not have carried them all on my own, and they do not have the gift to breathe more than that potion allowed. They could have died down there.
As could have my fellow companions.
Well, I am thankful that none of these things came to pass. However, there is still the purpose of a robbery. I admit I was a little shaken to discover that my friend's room was broken into. We thank you for returning it, but would you rather discuss the matter face to face?
We can discuss this, yes.
Okay.
I assure you we meant nothing bad by it.
Then let us discuss. What is it you wish to know, or what do you know? And we can talk as intelligent individuals. My friend has a bag. You took that bag. You returned that bag. This is the information that we both know. What goes through
My
your mind?
understanding is the bag was returned because Maggie has integrity and is trustworthy and good, and she threw the thief down the stairs and demanded he return it. I don't think that would have been returned without her direct intervention. Am I wrong?
To
He
be
says
fair,
pointedly.
we would have
be
returned the
fair.
bag. To be fair, we would have returned the bag and its contents back.
We are just supposed to believe this?
Believe whatever you want. What is done is done. I just can't help but feel that it is my destiny to know what this gem does and for me to find out its journey that it could potentially lead me on.
Tilting her head to the side, Rose is going to look at Ao. And what has brought this to be your destiny, friend? That this, whatever this is, seems to be your calling. I have no doubt that you are called to something, but what makes this it?
I can't explain things. It's just a feeling. I want to be a hero like, the ones you read about in stories.
Indeed, I have quite the book that tells me many stories of many heroes.
There's words in it.
I will let you read it sometime. But this does not mean that every hero can fit in every story. However, if this is something you wish to journey on, then I suppose there is no harm in working together. And actually, Ro's going to glance over and see, actually, is Gale in the room?
Yes, he is.
Is he over there being smug and annoying?
You might find it annoying. He's just being himself.
The real question is, who hates Gale more, Thray or Ro?
Oh, that's a question. I'm just sus of the guy, okay? If he likes the idea of us working together, then it may or may not be a good idea. If he hates the idea of us working together, then
It may or may not be a good idea.
Well, at the very least, Ao, shall we do breakfast? I mean, as you see, we've already started, but the least we could do is pull up a chair.
I mean, you did notice they've had their breakfast and they're just kind of having discussions.
A team meeting.
Yeah.
Dessert fruits, then.
Did you just say dessert?
Dessert fruits, yes.
Breakfast dessert.
Fruit, yes.
We get fruit.
Or sorbet.
Mm.
The waters are a very strange land. Strange meal customs.
If you all want to talk, that is fine. My group has eaten already. And it seems that majority of my people have taken a liking to yours.
Excellent. Well, I know that we've started on a rough front, and I hope we can correct that. But whatever this is to be, and whatever destiny may hold for you, hopefully we can talk further about next steps. I know that presently we were trying to find a companion who is missing armor. We don't know why. And
they don't need to know anymore. We don't need to tell them anything else.
Yeah, this is that's party stuff.
Ao does mention, yes, where is the one that said mean words towards me and hurt my feelings in ways that I can't understand?
To be fair, he has many misconceptions about anyone of the blue type, so, I mean, he's very respectful, but,
And I hope they told you that I'm gonna talk to him and see what's going on, because that was very unlike him. He's usually super nice. He's like the nicest person I know.
Indeed.
Maggie overhears this and is a little hurt almost.
You're nice too, Maggie, don't worry. said like. That's approximate. That's the one word she knows that's more than 2 syllables. Approximate.
Not that it really matters, but can you describe Ao's hair real quick?
Where's Ao? It's what?
Just in general, I am kind of
That's
imagining
what
whatever
Ao
style
looks
she
like.
has. You're showing me a boundary, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, you're not there. I forgot. It's kind of a dark black. She's, you know, I can't describe hair.
Okay, just a second.
Did you guys see the photo that I shared on the social media stuff for this week's episode? She's on the image.
Ah. Okay.
She has really pretty hair, actually.
Well, indeed, I like the side do. Did you get it done in town? Because it is rather lovely. I don't know why Marius decided to take such a personal offense to it.
This is the opportunity
I
that Avery
actu-
takes to point out her new haircut. She's like, "Oh, I got mine done in town."
And it looks wonderful.
When?
Thank you.
It does indeed.
When did you have time to do this?
Well, that was the
just
whole
this.
night after the
Don't worry about
the
it.
time when we almost died by shark.
Yeah, it's how I coped with it. It's fine.
Near-death experience, new do.
Yeah, isn't that what she do?
New near-death experience do.
Points at
Do we
short
gotta
hair.
do the tokens?
What's the guy's name? What the Yeah, so the drow is Gil.
It's Belsariad.
Yeah.
Ardith. You'll just
We call him Gale.
Yeah, and then there's the human dude that was thrown down the stairs
Yep,
is
it's Irvin Wastewalker.
yeah, Gil. Is Gil Gel? I don't remember.
Hey,
Was it
It's
like
Gal.
Gal? Okay.
Oh, I've been using it with an I. He is long-winded after all. Anyway. All right. Well, so yes, I apologize for that. I don't know, and without him here, it's hard to know. But I hope that you can forgive it, and well, if are you quite recovered from his insult?
Yes,
I mean,
I
if it-
am.
Okay. Well, I didn't doubt your character. You are a woman of valor after all. But I did want to offer. Well, tell me, what did your party have in mind going forward? Is there any way we can maybe help one another or work in sync?
I guess that just depends on how involved you would like us to be.
I suppose that depends on what exactly you had in mind.
Bella's getting flashbacks to Adri and Ro trying to come to an agreement as to
I'm
what
not
Ro's
showing
contract
her.
actually is.
I'm not showing her any of my cards until she's given me an idea of what her cards are or what cards she's even looking for.
Yep, I totally get it.
Thank you.
Guess it's something I don't exactly know what all we're willing to do in helping you all out.
Well, you were there when my friends fell unconscious. What did you notice?
What did I notice about what?
How they fell unconscious, of course.
That's true. None of us saw us fall unconscious. We were all just unconscious.
Well, when they went
Was
into.
it the shark?
No, it was when they went into. Well, after the shark was defeated and it wailed about, it hit a wall and created an opening that
Hmm.
your party then swam through. And next thing we all know, there's some sort of muffled voice from someone we didn't know. We get in there, we see your party just laying on the ground as we just heard these muffled voices giving what seemed like a vision or something.
Voices have vision.
Yes?
This is a strange. Maybe it's a language barrier. What?
See, now you're
I'm
making
sorry.
me,
I'm
now you're
used
making
to.
me feel weird about describing things that I can't describe.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just. I'm used to voices, giving sounds, not vision. Um, did you perceive something then? If you
All I saw
saw
was
voices?
is it Delphi? Is that your name?
Yes.
I saw you with that gem in your hand.
Mm-hmm. And
And
I
there
touched
was,
the gem and I went unconscious.
yes, and then we saw that in your hand. You all were just unconscious, and I just heard muffled voices. I couldn't hear anything physically, like words.
You heard voices?
It sounded like
Multiple?
there was, well, just a voice, I guess.
That's weird.
Had you heard it before?
No,
Hmm.
best I could suspect was it that Jim gave a vision. Am I incorrect in this?
For this whole exchange, Dell has just been sitting quietly, like with one hand over like his forehead, resting in the crook between his thumb and index finger, so that his palm kind of shades his eyes, even though he still has the goggles on. And there's plain tension in his shoulders, but he remains silent so far as anybody can hear with their ears.
Hmm. But can they hear with their eyes? That seems to be a thing.
He has been projecting his thoughts unknowingly for a day now.
Hmm.
So, is he projecting his thoughts right now?
He can only do it to one individual at a time. And if he is
Oh
doing it, he's
no.
not doing it to any of you.
AO's got the vision.
I mean,
Or Maggie. I mean, we don't know who
I
he's
look at
projecting
Dell
the
and
vision
Adri to see if they're gonna say anything.
Dal just shakes his head.
So you're unknowingly giving AO the vision?
No.
Then
No, if Dell were saying anything, AO would be getting a torrent of we'll call it an earful.
Oh.
okay.
All the things he wanted
But-
to write on a napkin and send
Yes.
to them.
But
Mm.
he is not doing that. Dell is actually just simply being quiet
Okay.
and dealing with his headache and inwardly hoping that this other blue lady just goes away.
I
There's
mean,
one that she was talking to you before all this. Oh, sorry.
no, keep going, Ro. Delphi, I don't know what Delphi's gonna say, so talk until I figure it out.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. But know that you're probably gonna have to answer. I admit I was, well, you know, I did not experience it, and I'm not completely sure. None of us were completely sure. But you thought that the crystal would solve this somehow? The crystal that knocked my friends unconscious?
That's what I said. I was like, why would you steal a crystal that knocked the people who touched it unconscious? I don't even want to touch it.
I just feel like this crystal is connected to something bigger.
Do you want to...
Well, how about this? Apparently, there's some other stuff going on. Do you and I, as beings that don't need any of those potion things, want to go take another look at the cavern? Maybe we can find some clues?
Is that presumptive?
She's water blessed. I know that she can do it.
They've both seen each other swim. They both know.
Swimming and breathing underwater unassisted are two very different things. I can swim.
You can't breathe underwater unassisted?
I can't.
What?
I haven't mastered it yet.
That's crazy.
Well, Ro is going to make that assumption. Maybe it's wrong, but she just made that assumption.
Well,
As a water blessed, she assumes they can do it.
If you want to go explore the cavern, we can.
The plan. Will any of the rest of your party wish to assist, or what were their thoughts on the experience? Clearly you talked about it. Actually, do they want to come over?
Yeah, they can, like, come join us. We don't fight.
Actually, and I'm going to look at Dell, who's still suffering the headache.
Yeah.
Maybe
As you guys say this.
Okay, Dell bites. We should go join you guys, and I don't...
I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Dell bites. Okay.
He does. Everyone bites.
And not one of the nice crystal-shaped ones?
Oh, I hope it wasn't your glass one.
I was gonna say it should be the
Well,
rubber
better
one.
he throws them on the floor than swallow them.
Yeah, you should have a rubber
This is
one.
accurate.
Apparently bounced away.
Dell, are you good if we go talk to them? Do you want one of us to stay with you? I don't know what to do to help
Don't know
you.
either.
Oh no. We are entertaining this conversation for as long as we have been.
I'm gonna turn to Aeon and I'm gonna be like, honestly, like, Ro, you're welcome to go with her. But I think until
Don't. I would. You trust them enough to send her down there alone?
I'm not going to tell Ro what she can and can't do. I'm not doing that anymore. But I think we need to wait to have any further conversation until our whole party is here and we're all feeling 100%. Because I think Dell needs to get back to our rooms where he can, like, rest.
Ro is going to turn back to Ao. I think we might have a potential plan here, but apparently we need to get a few things in order. Will you be in town long, or I apologize to postpone our further conversation?
We will be around, yes.
All right. And may we reach you here?
Yes, we'll be staying here.
Well,
I mean, you clearly all know where my room is, so...
if you could kindly knock on the door next time.
We can do that, yes.
That would be
Thank you.
appreciated. I'm gonna wave at Maggie again.
Maggie, of course, waves back.
I'm gonna nod at that kind cleric fellow.
And you see Dermont nod back.
And I think
And he just
Rose
kind of...
rolling her eyes.
He'll just kind of
That means
smile
there's Irvin
a little bit.
That means there's Irvin and Ao left for Dell
Glare at.
to have some parting gesture toward. And he knows just the gesture.
Finger guns.
Finger and crossbows. No, as we're turning to leave, Dell will kind of stop and like squeeze both temples just with one hand for a couple of seconds. Take a breath and then look up and fix eyes with Ao. Did you send Irvin into Delphi's room, or did he do that on his own without your knowledge?
He had mentioned it, yes.
So you sent him.
In a way, yeah. I wasn't stopping him from that.
Okay.
I'll have you know that once the rest of the party found out when he got back, they were all kind of upset about it.
I'm not talking to them right now. I'm talking to you. You're the leader. And I see now rules only matter when they're not in your way. Good day.
Does anyone else have anything to say, or are you all just leaving?
I think we're leaving. I think we're headed back. Ro may make her excuses and head towards the docks to investigate getting a boat.
Okay.
If anyone wants to come with, but the general idea is that Dell is theoretically going back to the Possum Pub.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we probably should hold off on a boat though until it's decided whether or not, you know, we're bringing these
Well, of course.
these crystal turds along with us. I mean, crystal razors. If they're accompanying us, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Well, she's going to at least examine the docks and see if there's even such vessels around.
Mhm.
Not,
So,
I mean, if there's nothing but dinghies, we're not going anywhere quickly.
so you go to the docks.
And what
Is
do...
at the docks, you don't see any like large ships. They're mostly just kind of small fishing vessels.
Any merchant boats?
Currently, no.
Well,
I mean,
she's not the...
if we have to hoof it, we have to hoof it.
Yeah, if we have to hoof it, we have to hoof it. But we could always go by water. Anyway.
Bro, you're the only one who can breathe underwater. Now that I've been told that breathing underwater and swimming are two different abilities.
Well, I do have that backup potion that I didn't use. And I have the glass shell thing, if we needed it. But in the meantime, I also know, believe it or not, I do have some training in such things. So I thought I would look around and see what we could find. Because, you know, the shortest path between two dots is water.
Is water. I knew you
Wow.
weren't going to say that.
You guys are like... Clearly I missed psychic powers at breakfast or something. You guys were like just so in sync.
Ro is going to look puzzled at Del. Did he read her mind?
No.
Okay.
Honestly,
Well.
I'm gonna be real, I completely forgot about the whole psychic power things when I said that. That was just supposed to be a dumb joke. I'm now even more entertained by myself.
The unintentional, accidental, super lampshade.
Adri's already gone to the barber. We still need to find Marius, who's running around naked somewhere.
How do we find Marius?
We still need to go to that temple. We could go to that temple to find him.
Yes.
We should. Let's do that before we go back to the pub. And,
are you sure? You do not look good.
And all honesty, we probably should let Adri stop at a library or something and see if she can find anything on her book while we're in a town.
I didn't think they had a library here. I thought we already looked for one of those.
Oh, yes, you're right.
But I looked terrible because that conversation was the worst. But I was just insufferable.
No. You were a tad overprotective, I'll grant you, but maybe a little too eager.
I was incredibly nice and restrained, I assure you.
We appreciate it. I thought you did very well, especially considering you have a headache.
I apologize the water didn't help more. Maybe we just need to find different water. Anyway,
So
which way was
where
that
is the Temple of Deluxon here in Dragao? Is Marius getting in trouble proselytizing in front of it?
Dancing naked? Or just in his undergarment?
We already clarified that you wear clothes under armor, Thray.
He's just determined to make the David parallel.
Everyone worships in their own way.
It would be not terribly far from where you are. It's actually fairly close by where you had the meat pie eating contest.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That means it may or may not be on a tortoise.
Yes, Ro. Everything's on a tortoise.
An ambulatory temple.
Not everything is.
It's called exaggeration, strange voice in my head.
Do we need investigation checks or anything to try to hunt around the area for Marius? Or is it just kind of, it's apparent whether he is there or not upon our arrival?
I mean, you go there, and you also notice Dermont's kind of following behind a little bit. He's on his way to the temple to.
Well, this tracks. It is.
Do his.
It is his faith.
Yes.
Wave at him.
Going to slow up.
I was just waving at Dermont. I like waving.
Yes.
It's good to know
I was
people.
going to slow up and join him. Indeed.
Well, we're looking for Marius, not talking to Dermont. Marius is more important.
I mean, you are going to the same place.
So?
We're just doing that awkward parallel walking thing.
Yes. I excel at awkward parallel walking. I'm Olympic champion at awkward parallel walking.
Ro does not like walking in front of people.
Anyway, keep an eye out for Marius. There's no guarantee he's at the temple, but we might pass him on the way there.
He could literally be. He may not even be in Jagal anymore. Who even knows?
I was going to look for the tallest thing that she sees and see if there's any horns with bells on them.
It's probably a tortoise.
Tortoise, yeah.
I mean, there's many creatures here that are way taller than Marius.
All right, well,
Because there are full-size orcs and ogres here, and
that does make looking over the crowd a little bit difficult. Is there a convenient box that we could stand on?
Well, one of you could stand on my shoulders, or someone else's shoulders. Who might be a little bit stronger.
But as of right now, you don't find Marius.
No! Marius! Marius, where are you? Marius, we're getting worried. This is how you find people, right?
After 24 hours, at what point do we make posters?
48 hours later.
I could add them to my collection. I mean,
Delphi is completing the posters with several large arcs of glitter.
I mean, I could make some. I could.
Oh yes, you should.
Okay, I'm assuming not in the middle of the street.
Wait,
I could make it in the middle of the street.
For him instead of talking about going and making drawings.
Oh yeah.
We're right.
Sorry, I thought we were done looking.
Yes, I thought we montaged it, but it's fine. Do you want us to roll something for searching, or we just go?
No, because we're ending here.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the break, Delphi starts making a wonderful Marius poster.